Welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about the new Natasha Denona Yucca palette. That's what I call it. I don't know. It's Yucca. We will see. But I will do two looks with it and then we talk about if I like it or if I didn't like it. Also, if you're new here, hi, my name is Nikki. I absolutely love colorful, fun makeup, as well as indie brands and project pens. So if you want to see that all in your YouTube timeline, then subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free and I would love to have you in my small little family. Okay, let's state facts. I did buy this on the pre-launch event on the Sephora app we have in Germany. I'm pretty sure everyone has that though. This is the Yucca palette or Yucca palette. I will call it Yucca palette because it's easier for me. From Natasha Denona. This is her medium size. Sadly, this did get up in price. I paid 72 euros for it, so you will probably pay $67-69, something in that range. I will put down prices. This one is again your newest palette. The outside packaging is stunning. Like, look at this. This is so pretty. This is a matte design or soft matte design with her like the name and her name on it in gloss. We do have, as always, the removable pans on the back of the palette. You can poke these out if you want to change this with any of the medium-sized palettes. Listen, I bought this because first of all, it's a green palette. Listen, it's a green palette. I absolutely love green palettes. Did I buy green palettes and like on a rate of 100 the times I go through them? Hell yeah, listen. Of course. But again, this is the palette. You can add and change these palettes up. Again, if you have any of the others, like the Glam, the Bronze, the Love, like I do have, you can change these palettes. Like if any of these colors is like not your type, then you can change it up. And that's why I bought it, because listen, you can also put them in the Z palette. By the way, yeah. Again, I bought it on pre-launch. It was quite fast delivered, to be honest. I was thinking it needed a little bit longer time. This week is a week of makeup tutorials and makeup reviews. If you didn't saw my video on the new Uden's Eye George Divines palette, I will link it here. But yeah, I didn't, like, you can definitely tell I didn't touch this palette so far. And of course there is a mirror inside, which there is still the sticker on. That's why it looks like this. I thought I would take you and we do two looks with the palette. And then at the end I will talk about if I like it, if I didn't like it, if is this any of the good quality that we already know from Natasha Denona or not. Again, the price is not my favorite, but yeah, let's just hop right in, I would say. Welcome to my close-up of my face. I think we will start in this look with XOXO, this shade here. Definitely want to try that. Listen, I don't have, as per usual, like a plan what I want to do. I just wanted to like mix or like include both of these shades because they look pretty together. Again, for me, we will see about a possible inner corner highlight because we will see. But yeah, let's start with XOXO. I will just use my new cinch brushes. Listen, I am so happy, excited about these, and now we'll have like a, it's not quite like first impression because I used them yesterday. I couldn't, like, I couldn't contain myself to try this, but I could contain with the palette because I wanted to use it on YouTube. So yeah, this is a stunning orangey like shade, so pretty. I think also I will add this on the lower lash line, but I'm trying to wipe my brush on my phone. That will work. I will just try to use this as well on the lower lash line. So we do have a really nice and cohesive look. This on its own is stunning, by the way. Like, look at this. This is so pretty. Let me use the turquoise shade right beside, and that is the shade Willow as well. Again, this was one of those shades where I'm like, I want to use the green one as well. Let me use that as well, just on the outer edge. Because again, I thought these colors would fit together quite well, at least from like swatches or like YouTube. This seemed like this color would have been a little bit more like salmony color. It's not. It's quite a good, like a really nice orangey shade. But it works with the green, which is like what I expected. Let's go with Macchia on the lid, which is the shade right beside that, the stunning green. I thought this would be great. I did spray my brush and I will just pack that on. Ooh, this is a pretty shade. This is one of those greens I do absolutely love, because it is such a pretty shade, and I think like this is a quite like decent subtle like green look, at least so far. We'll see about that. And I will just use a little bit of willow again in my crease and in like on the lid, so that everything is melting together and blending together. By the way, willow is quite powdery. Again, if you saw my video about the Udensai ones, I don't care. Let me add the bright yellow green shade, which is Camu Camu. This one on the inner corner, just to test everything out. Ooh, that seems to be really nice. See about that? It is working, which is good. We'll also bring that a little bit higher, because I do like that. And like, listen, that's the first look. I will finish this up and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the finished look. I added some liner. This is Chartreuse Flash, if I am not mistaken. Ha! It is. Listen, I didn't even look at it. Thought it would be Chartreuse Flash. And then I also added some half lashes. These are by Essence in the yellow packaging. So this worked out quite well, if you say. I think to be honest, it's a little bit difficult for me to find like an inner corner highlight. This one did work out, which I am grateful for. But again, I wish it would be a little bit lighter. But it's just me. I'm like pale. I'm like ghost. I'm haunting this house. So yeah, that's a little bit of a throwback, but in general I think this is a really nice look. I think also it looks really nice if you do that on daily. I don't think it's like too much, just a demure look, if you will. Yeah, do love it quite a bit. Again, we just used 4 shades, but I mean, we do have a whole palette of shades. And again, normally I'm not a fan of these like cool tone greens, but I think in this look it worked really well. By the way, if you hear some noises, that's my neighbor. I think they built a fence or something. We'll see about that. Yeah, but so far so good. Let's come to the second look. Welcome to my face, to look number 2 with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. I think I want to start with Citrine. And I do want to add like a little bit of a halo eye. We'll see about that though. So yeah, let me start with Citrine first. I think that is a beautiful yellowy shade. We will start with just put it on the outside. Don't know if this is like deep enough to be a medium shade, but we will find out sooner or later. This, by the way, is a beautiful shade. Just saying. This is really pretty. I will add this as well to my inner corner, just with a smaller brush, so that we have a good halo, at least in the making. And I think, let me add that as well on the like lower lash line. Let me add this as well on the lower lash line, just in one pass. Sometimes I do want to add in like a halo underneath as well. Sometimes I don't. So For me, this is really, really nice. On top, to deepen that up, I will use Calathea, which is cream to powder. I do love this shade though. Like, listen, this is such a pretty shade. I will use that. Again, this is a cream to powder, so we'll see if how good this is building up. Do have sometimes a battle with the cream to powder, so yeah, we will see about that. This, by the way, is a really deep, warm toned green. See about like how this is working out. So in general, this will be a green look. I was also thinking about using like flex, the deep brown as well, to deepen up the look, but yeah, we'll see where this is going. I will of course also add this on the inner part. This looks quite well. I wish though, in like comparison to the shade in the palette, this is quite light. Of course you can build it up, which I will do. And yeah, then we will come to probably the lighter shade. Like this, again, this is like, listen, this is looking a lot like Willow, just in a cream to powder and maybe a little bit warmer, maybe. So yeah, you can layer them, I think. Let's add Camu Camu on the brush. I use a little bit of, I will like rub a little bit of the pigment on my hand so I don't have like pigment, just so I can blend out the edges, you know, because I feel like if you have that on your like brush, that could be like a lot. And I just want to add a little bit to blend out everything. And I also will put that in the inner corner. Listen, there's just one shade that is light enough in this palette, and that is Camu Camu, so we will put that in the inner corner as well. Just so you know. Let's put that in like this. This is really pretty. You could add Camu Camu just in the center of the lid and that would be fine. I will not do that, of course, because we tried Camu Camu already. I will, of course, add some shimmer on my lid that is now free. I think for the lid space that is free, I want to use Komorebi, which is this shade. Have to say though, the gold shades do look quite similar. These are the three gold shades. Definitely can tell they are not so different. This one is the more grayish shade in there. That's a little bit sad. I wish that they would be like putting in a lime green as well, maybe. I mean, this is a green palette and I get this. This is Natasha Denona. She is known for her more like daytime appropriate color stories. None of this in this palette, just in the, I think, Circus palette, if I'm not mistaken. That was a really colorful palette, but other than this, the other ones were quite demure. Again, the Love palette was also an exception, but I think I will use Komorebi. I don't even know. I will spray that and we will put that on the lid. I could have done also the green, but we already had that and I wanted to try any of the other shades. Like, let's put that here. This is a pretty shade, you know. We'll put that quite light up. Like this. This is a really pretty shade. I will also go again with the, which one is it? Calathea shade to, you know, go in on the edges again, just to like deepen them up and blending in the color a little bit like this. It is a pretty look. It is really a pretty look. I will finish that up on the other side and I'll be right back. So this is the finished look. I used the same liner again with the same lashes. I was like lazy. Listen, I think this is really, really pretty. Let me come to the review though, and I think you will be surprised. Okay, listen, this is 2 times trying. I didn't try all of the shades in here so far. There will be a thorough review after testing it for a month in the Good, the Bad review. So if you want to see like an in-depth review of the palette, wait for that. Again, I am trying to upload them as fast as possible, as fast I've tested these out, like really good. I have to say though, it's a pretty palette, but I think for 72 euros, that's not enough. It's not enough for me. Again, I didn't try all of the shades. I don't know if they perform all nicely, but I did swatch like the shimmer shades. This one, and that one on the other side, this one. And they seem to be quite similar. Do you really need 3 of these shades? I don't think so. I wish that there would be like a more, maybe not like another shade in here. You know what I mean? Also, I think that Citrine, this shade here, as well as this shade, seems to be quite honest, also quite similar. I don't even know if you can like spot a difference between this shade and this shade here. So for me, it's like, do we have to have all of these shades? Couldn't she involve maybe, to be honest, lime green in a shimmer formula? Couldn't she involve like something a little bit a deeper green? I mean, this is pretty, don't get me wrong, and the look before, beautiful. But I mean, you know, listen, right after testing out the Untitled Stone and Rock palette, which I think is the green one, where I will link that video in the eye. This one is, quality-wise, it's great. Listen, it's the same Natasha Denona quality I am used to, and I know that Natasha Denona is not known for her like overly colorful palettes. I think this is pretty, but I don't think, you know, that this is the best green tone palette ever, just so you know. Again, if I had to decide between Uden's Eye and this one, I'm probably going with Uden's Eye, to be honest. Oh, and I know that will be hurt, like this hurts really, really badly. Again, I just tried it twice, so this is like, take it with a grain of salt. Maybe I will tell you at the end of the month, this is the best palette ever, but so far, I don't see that. It's pretty though. I mean, it's pretty on the eye again, but yeah. So far, I would say skip on the palette, or you say, okay, I just want to have like a basic green palette that I can wear every day, that I don't have to worry about that it's too green. I mean, that could be your palette then. If you want to like have a green palette with amazing greens and shimmers, maybe go with the Uden's Eye. I'm so sorry for that, but it has to be out. Again, I will tell you everything in end of the month and tell you if I like change my mind or not, but so far that's the verdict. That was my video about the Yucca palette. I hope you enjoyed, and if you liked this content and the looks I've created, then of course subscribe to this channel and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the Yucca palette. If you bought it, if you will buy it, if you're thinking about buying it, leave it down in the comments. I would really appreciate that. Also, I wish you a beautiful week, and we see us in my next video. So bye guys.